Hello everyone and welcome. In today's video I'd like to talk to you guys about our 2009 Subaru Forester. We've had this car from day one. We picked it up, it had 18 kilometers on it. We've got about 150,000 kilometers on it now. And the reason I'm making this video is for anyone out there that might be looking on the used car market for one of these. What the common issues might be with them, stuff that we've come across in the last 10 years, and what we like about it. Now I think, to be honest, there's a lot to say about these cars. They're actually really nice. The interior is very spacious, lots of trunk space. The all-wheel drive system works really well, and as you can tell from the surroundings, we've got a lot of snow here in northern Canada. But there are 5 major issues that we've had, I consider them major, in the last 10 years. And I'm going to go through them in the video. But first and foremost, the biggest one that we've had is the driveshaft. Now the driveshaft on this thing has a hanger bearing in the center, and I'm going to go to that in the video as a clip later on. But there are a few other videos and posts about this issue on YouTube and out there in the web of people not quite knowing what the strange noise at low speeds is coming from. So if you were driving this, the noise almost seems to come from this wheel over here. When you're in the driver's seat, it sounds like a wheel bearing. And others have actually put microphones and filmed the video, having the video sitting right here in the center console. And even then, that noise sounds to come from there, so it's kind of difficult to trace. But in reality, what it is again the hanger bearing. The hanger bearing gets dry, and unfortunately you have to replace the whole drive shaft for that. I'm going to go through that, of course, but that would be issue number 1. Issue number 2 is, I would have to say, the brakes, and specifically the rear brakes. Now we're sporting our winter tires on this thing because it is winter and you can't really see, but I'm going to try and get in here a little bit closer. I'm not really going to be able to, unfortunately, get there. That's not going to be a good shot for you guys. However, what we ended up having to do, we were wearing out our brakes in the back very quickly in comparison to the front. Now what I ended up doing as a resolution is installing a set of vented and cross-drilled rotors all 4 corners, and since then we've actually had a lot more life out of these brakes and they tend to stop better. So we went from I would say every 20 to 30,000 kilometers having to replace them, and now we're up to almost 50, and we still got lots of life in the back. Issue number 3 is we've been on our 3rd battery already with this vehicle. Not quite sure what that is all about. However, I have done some load tests. I've done alternator checks. I've checked for parasitic drag or draw on the vehicle. Nothing seems to come up. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. But we just recently had to put in another battery. So this is our 3rd one in 10 years. Some people might say that's not too bad, but I would say it's a little bit much considering I've had quite a few vehicles. And I've only ever had to, like for example on my pickup truck, that battery was 9 years old before I had to replace it. So I find this a little bit extreme. Now the next problem, or problem number 4 that we've had on this vehicle, is the stabilizer bar bushings. Now I have another clip coming along further down in the video. Let me see if I can get to it now. However, these things are what connect the stabilizer bar to the chassis. Now along a sharp and bumpy road, it sounds like a knocking going through the front end, and those bushings are easily replaceable. They're only about $20, and that's something that we went through actually pretty quickly. I think the car had only about 100,000 kilometers before we started realizing that was needed to be changed, and the noise was getting pretty bad. And last but not least, is the fuel economy. Now, fuel economy for this thing, because it is all-wheel drive, and it's full-time all-wheel drive, you can't take it out, you can't do anything about it. Super good system, very simple. It does cause poor fuel economy. The best that we've had in the 10 years that we've owned this thing on a long drive, in the summer, beautiful roads, is about 8 liters per 100. Now, that's not exactly great, considering some other SUVs out there can get a little bit better than that, you know. But the worst that we get, even when towing a trailer, is about 12. So it's not great. I don't think the fuel economy is the best. However, I don't think it's really that terrible, because this thing actually boots along really well. It's towed everything I've needed to. It's been really great for us, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to hear any more new videos coming up.